The Philistines and Palestinians, two names that often sound similar but represent vastly different groups across history. Are they connected, or is it just a coincidence? In today's video, we'll break down who the Philistines were in the Bible, who the Palestinians are today, and what, if any, ties bind these two groups across the centuries. By the end, you'll understand the historical and spiritual roles they've each played in the region. Before we begin, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Bible Stories for You, where ancient wisdom meets modern insights. Our channel dives into fascinating biblical mysteries, shedding light on stories and themes that many people have never heard of. The Philistines, an ancient people frequently mentioned in the Old Testament, were formidable enemies of Israel. Living along the coastal regions of Canaan, primarily in modern-day Gaza, Ashkelon, Ashdod, Ekron, and Gath, they settled around the 12th century BCE. Known as part of the Sea Peoples, they likely originated from areas around the Aegean, possibly Crete, and migrated to the coast of Canaan. Their advanced knowledge of iron weaponry gave them a considerable advantage over Israel, marking them as a powerful military force in the region. The Philistines' pagan practices, including worship of deities like Dagon, stood in direct opposition to Israel's monotheistic faith, fueling much of the biblical tension between these groups. One of the most memorable biblical stories involving the Philistines is the story of Samson, whose incredible strength was used to fight against them. Another famous encounter is the battle between David and Goliath, a moment that symbolizes divine intervention against overwhelming odds. Throughout the Bible, the Philistines are often portrayed as oppressors, capturing the Ark of the Covenant and provoking Israel into battle. Prophets such as Amos and Zephaniah foretold the Philistines' eventual downfall due to their idolatry and violence, a prophecy fulfilled as larger empires eventually overtook their cities, erasing their presence as a distinct people. Fast forward thousands of years, and we find the Palestinians, a modern Arab people who have lived in the region known as Palestine, including today's Israel, the West Bank, and Gaza. Their identification as Palestinian began during the 20th century, especially under the British Mandate of Palestine. This identity took on new significance in response to the Zionist movement and the establishment of Israel in 1948. Unlike the ancient Philistines, Palestinians are primarily Muslim, with a significant minority of Christians, and share cultural and religious ties with the broader Arab world. While the name Palestine traces back to the Roman Empire, which renamed Judea as Palestina in an attempt to erase Jewish ties to the region, the modern Palestinians have no direct link to the Philistines. They represent a population deeply connected to the land through centuries of residence, now primarily seeking self-determination and statehood in a long-standing political struggle. Reflecting on these two groups, we see that while the Philistines and Palestinians share a name rooted in the same region, their identities, roles, and histories are distinct. The Philistines, an ancient people who opposed Israel in the Old Testament, faded into history, while the Palestinians are engaged in a present-day political conflict over land and identity. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments what you think about the distinctions between the Philistines and Palestinians, and the impact of these stories on our understanding of the region. Remember to subscribe to the Bible Stories for You for more deep dives into biblical history and its connections to the world today.